What if the secret to attracting love and respect was to stop seeking it? What if the path to becoming magnetic was not to chase others, but to build a powerful gravitational force within yourself? True attraction is not begged for. It is commanded by the silent, unshakable presence of a self-possessed soul. Become magnetic without begging for love. Compiled and published by Stoic Dominion. Lessons 1. Emotional detachment builds inner gravity. Imagine the sun at the center of our solar system. It does not chase the planets, begging them to stay in orbit. It does not worry that Mercury might fly away or that Jupiter might ignore it. The sun simply abides in its own immense, fiery, self-contained power. And by the sheer, silent force of its own mass, its own gravity, it holds the entire system in a perfect, effortless, and predictable dance. The planets orbit the sun not because the sun needs them to, but because it is in their nature to be drawn to its powerful, stable center. The sun's power is not in its seeking, but in its being. That sun is the model for a truly magnetic soul. This brings us to one of the most painful inner conflicts of the human heart. We desire love, connection, and respect from others, and we believe the way to get it is to pursue it actively. We chase, we persuade, we perform, we try to convince others of our worth. The problem statement is this. This act of chasing, this energy of needing and wanting something from another person, destroys the very magnetism we seek to create. It makes us the needy satellite, desperately trying to stay in orbit around someone else, instead of the powerful sun with its own center of gravity. This dynamic is draining. It demolishes our self-respect, and it paradoxically makes us less attractive, because neediness is the opposite of a powerful magnetic force. We feel powerless because we have given the center of our universe to someone else. The transformative solution is to stop chasing and start building. You must embrace the Stoic practice of emotional detachment to build your own inner gravity. The core idea is that you must become your own sun. This means detaching your emotional well-being from the approval or disapproval of any single person. It means focusing your life's energy not on pursuing others, but on building your own mass, your character, your purpose, your skills, your physical and mental health. As you build this inner mass, you develop your own powerful gravitational field. You become a stable, radiant center. And then a funny thing happens. Others begin to naturally orient themselves around you. They are drawn to your light, your warmth, and your stability, not because you begged them to be, but because it is in their nature to be drawn to a powerful, self-sufficient center. This ancient wisdom is the heart of Stoic freedom. The Stoics taught that our suffering comes from desiring things outside of our control. The feelings of another person are fundamentally outside our control. Our own character and actions, however, are completely within our control. The Stoic path is to shift your life's project from the impossible task of controlling others to the noble task of mastering yourself. This is the only path to creating an inner state so solid and so valuable that it becomes magnetic. To begin this practice, you must become the astronomer of your own solar system. For the next week, your task is to identify one person or outcome that you have placed at the center of your emotional universe, an object of your begging. This could be a romantic interest, a boss whose approval you crave, or a group of friends you feel you need to impress. Now, you will consciously and deliberately remove them from the center. You will perform a gravity shift. In your journal, you will write down 3 things that will now become your sun, the center of your focus. These must be things entirely within your control that build your own value. For example, 1. My physical training. 2. Reading 1 chapter of a book each day. 3. Making progress on my personal business project. For the entire week, you will dedicate the energy you were spending on worrying about, checking on, or trying to impress that external person. And you will pour it into these 3 things instead. When the urge to beg arises, you will redirect that energy into one of your 3 central pillars. You are not ignoring the other person. You are simply making your own growth the sun of your solar system. The profound benefit of this practice is that you will feel your own power returning to you. Your sense of self-worth will begin to build, as it is now based on your own actions, not on someone else's reactions. You will feel a new sense of freedom and lightness, and paradoxically, your gravitational field will increase. The very act of not needing them makes you infinitely more magnetic. You are learning to be the sun. Emotional detachment is the first step to building your inner gravity. But we must also understand and eliminate the one force that actively repels others: desperation. In our next lesson, we will explore why desperation destroys your magnetic field. If you are ready to become your own sun, declare it in the comments below. I am the center of my own universe. Your commitment to this truth empowers our entire community. Please remember to subscribe to the Stoic Dominion channel and like this video to support our shared journey. Lesson 2. Desperation destroys your magnetic field. Imagine two celestial bodies in space. The first is a vibrant, stable star. It radiates light and heat. Its immense gravity holds planets in a gentle, life-giving orbit. It is a creator, a source of energy. The second celestial body is a black hole. It has a gravitational pull that is infinitely more intense, but it is a desperate, consuming gravity. It does not radiate, it only takes. It pulls everything into its void, crushing it into nothingness. Nothing can escape its desperate need. While its pull is strong, it is a force of destruction, not attraction. Desperation is the black hole of the human soul. The stable star is the magnetic presence we seek to build. This illustrates a critical inner conflict. We want connection so badly that we often adopt a strategy that makes it impossible. The problem statement is this: desperation, no matter how well you try to hide it, radiates an energy that is profoundly repellent. When we are desperate for someone's approval, love, or attention, we subtly communicate that we are a void, a black hole. Our actions become needy. We text too much, we are overly agreeable, we sacrifice our own needs and boundaries in the hope of pleasing the other person. This energy of desperation screams, I am not whole without you. I need you to complete me. This places an immense burden on the other person, and it completely destroys any sense of attraction or respect they might have had for you. You are asking them to be your sun, a job they never applied for and are not equipped to do. The transformative solution is to commit to becoming the stable star. You must shift your entire focus from trying to get love to learning to be a source of value. The core idea is that a magnetic person is one who has a life of their own, a life so rich, so purposeful, so fulfilling, that their happiness is not contingent on any one person's presence or absence. They are a star, generating their own light and heat. Their interactions with others are not about taking, but about sharing the warmth they already possess. This creates a powerful, attractive energy. People want to be near the star, not because the star needs them, but because being in its light feels good. They are drawn to its warmth, not sucked into its void. The Stoics would frame this as the difference between a life of virtue and a life of attachment. A life of virtue is one focused on internal excellence, on being brave, wise, just, and self-controlled. This is the star generating its own light. A life of attachment is one focused on external things, like the affection of a specific person. This is the black hole, defined by what it lacks. The Stoics taught that true happiness and strength could only come from the former. By focusing on your own character, you become a source of light, and any healthy relationships that form are a beautiful byproduct, not the desperate goal. To begin this practice of becoming the star, you must go on a mission of self-creation. For the next week, your task is to completely forbid yourself from any actions that feel needy or desperate. Instead, you will redirect 100% of that energy into building a more interesting and valuable life for yourself. You will create a mission plan with 3 categories. The first is mind. Commit to learning something new. Read a book, watch a documentary, start an online course. The second is body. Commit to a physical challenge. Go to the gym, take up a sport, start a running program. The third is purpose. Commit to a personal project that gives you a sense of meaning. This could be a creative endeavor, a business idea, or a volunteer opportunity. Whenever you feel the desperate urge to check your phone for a message or to seek reassurance from someone, you will immediately pivot and invest that moment of energy into your mission. Do 1 push-up. Read one page. Write one sentence of your business plan. You are consciously rewiring your brain to seek fulfillment from your own actions, not from the reactions of others. The profound benefit of this practice is that your desperation will begin to starve. A black hole cannot exist without consuming things from the outside. By feeding yourself with your own purpose and growth, you begin to generate your own light. Your self-respect will skyrocket. You will feel a new sense of wholeness and excitement for your own life. And the irony is, this new radiant energy is the most magnetic force in the universe. You are no longer the black hole. You are becoming the star that others naturally want to be near. Desperation destroys your magnetic field, while purpose builds it. This purpose and self-sufficiency are the source of a new kind of confidence, one that is quiet yet unshakable. In our next lesson, we will explore how quiet confidence signals higher value. If you are ready to stop being a black hole and start being a star, declare it in the comments. I will generate my own light. Your commitment to this mission helps to illuminate the path for our entire community. Please subscribe to the Stoic Dominion channel and continue your transformation. Lesson 3. Quiet confidence signals higher value. Imagine a tall, majestic mountain peak. It does not need to shout to announce its height. It does not need to boast of its strength. It does not compete with the smaller hills in the valley below. The mountain's value, its power, and its presence are self-evident. It simply exists, silent, solid, and immovable. Its confidence is not a performance. It is a state of being. The silence of the mountain speaks more powerfully than the noise of 1,000 rushing streams. This is the nature of quiet confidence. It signals a value that is inherent, not one that needs to be constantly proven. This brings us to a common inner conflict. We want to be perceived as valuable and confident, especially in our relationships and professional lives. The problem statement is this: we often mistake noise for confidence. We believe we must be the one who talks the most, who has the cleverest jokes, who boasts about our accomplishments, or who dominates the conversation. We are trying to convince others of our value through a loud and effortful performance. This noisy approach, however, often signals the exact opposite of what we intend. It signals insecurity. It communicates a deep-seated need for external validation, a fear that if we stop talking, we might become invisible. We are the small hill, shouting about how tall we are, which only serves to highlight our lack of true mountain-like stature. The transformative solution is to cultivate the quiet confidence of the mountain. You must learn that true, high value is not advertised, it is demonstrated. The core idea is that the most confident person in the room is often the most quiet. They are not quiet because they are shy or have nothing to say. They are quiet because they have nothing to prove. They are comfortable in their own skin and secure in their own value, so they feel no need to constantly broadcast it. Their silence is not empty, it is full. It is full of observation, full of self-possession, and full of a calm strength that is far more magnetic than any loud performance. The Stoics were masters of this quiet confidence. They believed that virtue was its own reward. A man of integrity does not need to announce his honesty. A courageous man does not need to boast of his bravery. His character is revealed through his actions, not his words. This approach fosters a deep sense of inner peace because you are freed from the exhausting, never-ending performance of trying to manage other people's perceptions of you. You can simply be and trust that your true value will be recognized by those who have the wisdom to see it. To begin cultivating this mountain-like presence, you must practice the art of speaking only when it improves the silence. This is your practice for the next week. In every group conversation, you will shift your default setting from talking to observing. You will listen more than you speak. Before you offer an opinion or tell a story, you will ask yourself one simple question. Does what I am about to say add real value, or am I just talking to fill the silence and prove that I'm here? Be honest with your answer. You will find that this filter eliminates a huge amount of your habitual, low-value chatter. When you do choose to speak, your words will have more weight. Because you have been listening intently, your contributions will be more insightful and relevant. Because you haven't been wasting your energy on nervous chatter, your delivery will be calmer and more deliberate. You are not trying to dominate the conversation, you are aiming to make a valuable contribution. Sometimes the most valuable contribution is a thoughtful question. Other times it is simply your calm, attentive, silent presence. The profound benefit of this practice is that you will begin to project an aura of deep, unshakable confidence. People will lean in to hear what you have to say, because they will learn that you only speak when you have something of value to add. You will become a more powerful and influential presence, not by talking more, but by talking less, and with greater intention. You are no longer the noisy hill, desperately trying to be noticed. You are becoming the silent, majestic mountain whose value is self-evident. Quiet confidence is built on a foundation of self-respect, but this respect is defined and protected by the boundaries we set. In our next lesson, we will explore how our boundaries define what and who we attract. If you are ready to find the power in quiet confidence, declare it in the comments. I am the mountain. Your commitment to this silent strength creates a powerful landscape for our community. Please subscribe to the Stoic Dominion channel and continue your ascent. Lesson 4. Boundaries define what you attract. Imagine a beautiful, thriving planet teeming with life. What allows this life to flourish? One of the most critical elements is its atmosphere. The atmosphere is a selective boundary. It is a powerful, protective field that allows the life-giving light of the sun to pass through, while simultaneously burning up the thousands of harmful meteors and deflecting the dangerous solar radiation that would otherwise sterilize the planet. The atmosphere doesn't just protect the life that is there. Its very composition is what determines the kind of life that can exist. It defines the ecosystem. Your personal boundaries are the atmosphere of your life. This reveals a crucial inner conflict. We want healthy, respectful, and loving relationships, but we are often afraid to set and enforce the very boundaries that make such relationships possible. The problem statement is this: a lack of clear, enforced boundaries is an open invitation for disrespect, manipulation, and emotional chaos. If your planet has no atmosphere, it will be constantly bombarded by every piece of cosmic debris, making it impossible for any healthy life to take root. When we fail to set boundaries, we communicate to the world that our time, our energy, and our emotional well-being are not valuable. This doesn't attract healthy, respectful people. It attracts meteors, users, manipulators, and those who will take advantage of our lack of self-respect. The transformative solution is to become the conscious architect of your own personal atmosphere. You must understand that strong, clear boundaries are not an act of aggression or selfishness. They are a profound act of self-care and the prerequisite for all healthy relationships. The core idea is that your boundaries are a quiet, powerful signal to the world about how you expect to be treated. They define what you will and will not accept. A person with strong boundaries is inherently magnetic to other healthy, high-value individuals because respect is the language they both speak. Conversely, a person with strong boundaries is profoundly uninteresting and frustrating to a manipulator whose entire game relies on violating them. Your boundaries are a filter. They burn up the meteors and let the sunlight in. The Stoics understood this principle as living with integrity and self-respect. They knew that a good life requires you to say no to things that violate your reason and your virtue. Your boundaries are simply your principles made manifest in your interactions with others. Setting a boundary is saying, "In my kingdom, we operate according to these laws of respect and rationality. If you wish to enter, you must abide by them." This is a quiet, confident act of a sovereign ruler, not the angry demand of a tyrant. To begin building your atmosphere, you must first identify the leaks. For the next week, your task is to conduct a boundary audit. In your journal, identify one specific area in your life where you feel your boundaries are weak or non-existent. It might be with a family member who makes constant emotional demands, a friend who is always late, or a boss who expects you to be available 24/7. Once you have identified the area, you will define one new, clear, and simple boundary. For example, I will no longer answer phone calls from this person after 9 p.m. or the next time this friend is more than 15 minutes late, I will leave, or I will not respond to work emails on a Sunday. The next step is to communicate this boundary, calmly and simply if necessary. And then comes the most important part. You must enforce it without guilt. The first time you let the call go to voicemail, or the first time you leave the restaurant after 15 minutes, you will feel a surge of fear and guilt. This is the discomfort of building a new atmosphere. You must hold the line. You are not punishing the other person, you are teaching them how to treat you. The profound benefit of this practice is that you will begin to feel a deep sense of safety and self-respect. The constant bombardment of disrespect will cease. You will find that some people will protest your new boundaries and may even leave your life. These were the meteors. But others will respect them and adjust their behavior accordingly. You are creating a healthy ecosystem around yourself, one in which authentic, respectful relationships can finally flourish. Clear boundaries are the external expression of a deep inner value. That value is self-respect. In our next lesson, we will explore how to cultivate self-respect so deeply that it replaces your need for external validation. If you are ready to build your atmosphere, declare it in the comments. My boundaries define my world. Your commitment to this practice helps us all live in healthier ecosystems. Please remember to subscribe to the Stoic Dominion channel. Lesson 5. Self-respect replaces validation seeking. Imagine a wise king who rules a prosperous and orderly kingdom. His people love him, and visiting dignitaries admire him. Where does his sense of worth come from? Does it come from the cheers of the crowd? Does it come from the flattering words of the dignitaries? No. The wise king's sense of worth comes from the weight of the scepter in his own hand, from the knowledge that he is ruling his kingdom with integrity, justice, and wisdom. The external praise is pleasant, like warm sunshine, but his self-respect is the bedrock of his castle, solid and unshakable regardless of the weather. He does not seek validation from his subjects. He seeks to be worthy of his own crown. This allegory points to a deep inner conflict that lies at the heart of our quest for love and connection. We all have a fundamental need to feel valued. The problem statement is this: we have been taught to seek this feeling of value from external sources. We look for it in the approval of our parents, the desire of a partner, the praise of a boss, or the likes on a social media post. This is validation seeking. It turns us into beggars, constantly holding out an empty cup and asking the world to fill it. This makes us anxious and powerless because we are giving others the remote control to our own self-esteem. When they give us validation, we feel good. When they withhold it, we feel worthless. The transformative solution is to embark on the noble Stoic project of building a well of self-respect so deep that it completely replaces your thirst for external validation. The core idea is that self-respect is not a feeling, it is a practice. It is the result of consistently keeping the promises you make to yourself. It is the quiet pride that comes from living in alignment with your own deepest values, regardless of whether anyone else notices or applauds. When you have this deep internal well to drink from, the validation of others becomes a pleasant bonus, not a desperate necessity. You are no longer the beggar with an empty cup. You are the keeper of your own abundant spring. The Stoics saw this as the ultimate goal of philosophy, to become a person who is sufficient unto himself. This doesn't mean you don't need other people. It means you don't need them to tell you who you are or what you are worth. Your worth is established by the integrity of your own character. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself constantly to be like the emerald that shines its color, regardless of whether anyone is there to admire it. Its value is inherent to its nature, not bestowed by an observer. This is the solid foundation of a truly magnetic and unconquerable soul. To begin this practice of building self-respect, you must become the keeper of your own promises. For the next week, your task is to choose one small, meaningful promise to make to yourself, and then to keep it with absolute integrity. This is your promise practice. The promise should be something that is entirely within your control and that you know is good for you. For example, I will get up 15 minutes earlier each day to read. Or I will go to the gym 3 times this week. Or I will not complain about anything for a full 24 hours. Choose one promise. Write it down. This is a sacred contract with your higher self. Your only mission for the week is to keep this promise. When your weaker self makes excuses, I'm too tired, I'll do it tomorrow, you must remember that you are not just skipping a workout or hitting the snooze button. You are breaking a promise to the most important person in your life, yourself. Each time you override that weak voice and keep your promise, you are making a powerful deposit into your self-respect account. You are proving to yourself that your word is law in your own kingdom. The profound benefit of this practice is that you will begin to build an unshakable core of self-trust. You will feel your needy energy for external validation begin to wither away because you are learning to fill your own cup. This creates an incredibly attractive aura of self-possession. People are naturally drawn to those who respect themselves. You are no longer the beggar, hoping for a few drops of water from others. You are the king, standing by your own deep, clear well. Self-respect is the foundation. Now we must learn how our reactions in the moment can either build upon this foundation or shatter it. In our next lesson, we will see how calm reactions command deep attention. If you are ready to start keeping your promises, declare it in the comments. My word is my bond. Your commitment to self-respect inspires us all to be better kings. Please subscribe to the Stoic Dominion channel. Lesson 6. Calm reactions command deep attention. Imagine a deep, still ocean on a calm day. Its surface is like glass, reflecting the sky with perfect clarity. Its presence is peaceful, inviting, and communicates immense quiet power. It draws you in. You want to explore its depths. Now imagine that same ocean in a violent storm. The waves are crashing. The surface is a chaotic mess of foam and spray. The ocean now communicates danger and volatility. It repels you. You don't want to get close to it. You want to get away from it. The ocean is the same, but its surface reaction to the wind determines whether it is magnetic or repellent. Your emotional reactions are the surface of your ocean. This brings us to a powerful inner conflict in our interactions. We want to be heard, we want to be taken seriously, and we want to command attention and respect in a conversation or a disagreement. The problem statement is this: our volatile, emotional reactions do the exact opposite of what we want. When we react to a situation with a stormy outburst of anger, a flurry of anxious words, or a tsunami of defensiveness, we do not command respect. We create chaos. The other person stops listening to the content of our words and focuses entirely on the storm of our emotions. They either become defensive themselves, or they shut down and withdraw, seeking a safe harbor away from our turmoil. Our emotional reactivity makes us repellent, not magnetic. The transformative solution is to learn to command deep attention through the power of a calm reaction. You must become the deep, still ocean, even when the winds of conflict are blowing. The core idea is that a calm and measured response to a chaotic situation is one of the most powerful and magnetic moves you can make. It communicates unshakable inner strength, emotional maturity, and high value. It forces the other person to quiet their own storm to meet your calm. Your stillness becomes a gravitational force that pulls the entire interaction into a more rational and productive orbit. A calm reaction is a silent statement of absolute self-control, and there are few things more compelling or worthy of attention. This is the Stoic ideal of the sage in action. The sage, when insulted, does not insult back. He might respond with a calm question, a moment of silence, or even a touch of gentle humor. He refuses to let the other person's storm become his storm. By doing so, he not only preserves his own inner peace, he often completely disarms his opponent and commands a level of deep attention that a loud, angry reaction could never achieve. His calm is his superpower. To begin this practice, you must train your storm response. For the next week, your mission is to become a vigilant observer of your own emotional surface. The moment you feel the winds of a conflict begin to pick up, the moment you feel the first waves of anger or defensiveness begin to form, you will immediately deploy your training. You will consciously relax your body, drop your shoulders, unclench your jaw. You will take one slow, deep breath, and you will deliberately slow down your rate of speech. You will speak at about 75% of your normal speed. These physical actions send a powerful signal to your nervous system that there is no emergency, that you are in control. Next, you will choose a response that is designed to create clarity, not to win the point. You can use calm, clarifying questions like, "Can you help me understand what you mean by that?" Or "What is the outcome you are looking for here?" These questions are like a deep ocean current, pulling the conversation away from the choppy surface of emotional reaction and down into the calmer depths of rational problem solving. The profound benefit of this practice is that you will begin to transform the dynamic of every conflict you are in. You will stop adding to the chaos and start becoming a source of calm clarity. People will find it almost impossible to maintain a high level of anger or agitation in the face of your profound calm. You will command their attention and their respect, not by being louder, but by being stiller. You are no longer the chaotic, stormy sea that repels others. You are becoming the deep, calm ocean that invites them to explore your depths. A calm reaction is the expression of a mind that is not just peaceful, but fulfilled from within. In our final lesson, we will explore how true inner fulfillment is the ultimate source of your magnetic pull. If you are ready to calm your own waters, declare it in the comments. I am the calm ocean. Your commitment to this practice creates a more peaceful world for everyone. Please remember to subscribe to the Stoic Dominion channel. Lesson 7. Inner fulfillment creates outer pull. Imagine a beautiful secluded garden, hidden behind a high stone wall. Inside, the gardener has spent years cultivating this space. The flowers are vibrant, the trees are heavy with fruit, and a clear spring bubbles at its center. The garden is a complete, self-sustaining ecosystem of beauty and abundance. The gardener does not stand at the gate, shouting to passers-by, begging them to come and admire his work. He does not need to. The garden's own fragrance, a rich perfume of blossoms and damp earth, drifts over the wall and out into the world. Intrigued by this scent of abundance, people are naturally drawn to the gate, curious to see the source of such beauty. The garden's inner fulfillment is the source of its outer pull. This is the final and most profound secret to becoming a truly magnetic person. The inner conflict we face is that we believe we need a relationship, we need love, we need approval, in order to feel fulfilled. We are an empty garden, hoping someone else will come along and plant flowers for us. The problem statement is this. This mindset of seeking fulfillment from external sources makes it impossible to ever truly find it, and it destroys our magnetic power. We are looking for someone to complete us, which communicates that we are currently incomplete. This energy of emptiness, as we have learned, does not attract healthy, abundant partners. It attracts people who are either also empty or who are looking to take advantage of our neediness. The transformative solution is to reverse the equation entirely. You must seek inner fulfillment first. You must become the gardener whose sole focus is on cultivating the most beautiful, abundant, and thriving garden of your own life. The core idea is that a magnetic life is not about finding the right person. It is about becoming the right person. It is about building a life of purpose, passion, and peace that is so deeply satisfying to you that a relationship becomes a wonderful addition, a partner in the garden, rather than a desperate solution to your own emptiness. When you are genuinely fulfilled from within, you radiate an energy, a wholeness and contentment, the fragrance of the garden that is irresistibly attractive. This is the culmination of the Stoic path. The Stoic sage is the ultimate fulfilled gardener. His happiness comes from living a life of virtue, from the beauty of his own well-ordered mind, and from his alignment with his purpose. He loves others, he engages with the world, but his fundamental sense of well-being is entirely self-sourced. He is a complete ecosystem. This makes him the most magnetic of all people, because he needs nothing from anyone and therefore has everything to give. To begin your practice as the gardener of your soul, you must commit to your own cultivation plan. For the next week, you will completely release the goal of attracting anyone. Your new soul purpose is to increase your own level of fulfillment. You will take out your journal and design your ideal day, a day that would make you feel truly alive and fulfilled, even if you spent it entirely alone. What would you do? Would you create art? Would you build something? Would you spend time in nature? Would you learn a new skill? Would you exercise your body? Be specific. Then, your mission for the week is to incorporate at least one element from your ideal day into your actual day. You must start cultivating your garden, not for some future partner, but for yourself right now. You are not waiting for someone to bring you flowers. You are planting your own. The profound benefit of this final practice is that you will fall in love with your own life. The desperate ache of needing someone else will be replaced by the joyful work of cultivating your own beautiful garden. And then, the ultimate paradox will occur. The moment you truly no longer need anyone to be happy, the moment you are genuinely fulfilled by your own purposeful existence, is the very moment you become most magnetic. You are no longer the empty plot of land, but the beautiful, fragrant garden that naturally draws others to your gate. From building your own gravity to cultivating your own garden, you now hold the keys to a truly magnetic presence. You know that the secret is not to beg for love, but to build a life so full of purpose, self-respect, and inner peace that you become the source of the very light you once sought from others. Thank you for dedicating yourself to this beautiful and empowering journey. Your commitment to cultivating your own inner world makes the entire world a more beautiful place. If this video has helped you find your own power, please like, comment, and subscribe to the Stoic Dominion channel to continue your growth.